I need a vacation.
I need another one.
No, bitch, you need one.
I need. Yeah, you're right.
That was
eyes
not a
tearing up.
vacation. Hmm.
Okay, sorry.
Cheers to a girls' weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I have that same cup but green.
This one?
It's a Starbucks cup. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have that same one but green.
I like it. That's why this is the only thing I drink my water out of.
I was drinking everything out of it. Coffee, water.
Girl. Oh, I did put tea in it when I was a little under the weather. We were while you were away, we were talking about how loud you are. You made that Manhattan very loud, bitch. We heard you slamming the ice in the motherfucking glass. We heard you slamming your cabinet doors. And I said,
those are not soft close cabinets.
Absolutely not.
Lord.
Nope. I may have been putting a little extra force.
No,
I said that. I was like, but he just got home from work. He jumped right on. He hasn't had time to de-stress. Like
yes.
I said all of that.
Right. To jump in that heavy conversation.
Right? Like to jump on and like, yeah. Like,
and then I said no. I said no, because Torian, when he stayed with me, that was the only thing I hated. He loud, just with everything. He stomps, he closes cabinets, he likes crushed ice.
I do. I do. It's very true.
And we start talking about when people put our ice makers on crush. And I was like, turn that shit off. Don't put that shit on my machine.
I am that person.
Yes,
and change it back before you leave.
I hopped up. I was like, what is that? Because I've never heard my ice maker make that sound. Like, I'm just used to people just getting ice.
No.
And he was like, I like it crushed.
I do. And I'm also a person, I think also because I typically like light ice. Even in my drinks, I don't like a lot of ice anyway. So I feel like in my mind, having it crushed and not so much in it, it makes it less ice than having like 5 big ass things. You know.
You sound like my mother. My mother can't stand ice.
Change the setting back, bitch. When you go change my setting, change the shit back.
Right? Put that shit back.
Fair.
They leave and you go to the ice maker to get you some ice and yet that shit's crushed. You like, oh, and I hate crushed ice. Like
I just hate the time it takes to crush. Like when you know me, I'm impatient. So when I do the shit, I want the ice to dispense. That's it. Bitch,
just
I don't
do
need
what
crushed.
to do.
And I think that crushed ice melts too quick.
I don't mind that because I don't like ice. So
yeah, I don't like ice in my drinks either. I'm that bitch. No ice, please.
See, outside I don't do ice, but like at home, extra ice. Like I load it up because I don't like sweet. So when I put a lot of ice, it dilutes whatever I'm drinking. So it kind of makes it more, yeah.
You're tuned in to season 4 of Catch My Black and Gay podcast.
Where being black and gay is definitely okay.
This podcast was created to give African American gay men an outlet to express, debate, and give our opinion on today's pop culture, political, and life views.
Hey guys, you're tuned in to Catch My Black and Gay podcast, where being black and gay is definitely okay. I am your boy Jay, and I have my amazing co-host with me today, Torian.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Chef Vaughn.
Wagwan.
Ooh, how's my face look?
It looks a little puffy, a little swollen.
It's a little, yeah.
Somebody fucked up J Ranger.
Ranger.
My Mighty Morphin Power Ranger didn't kick in, girl.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
So I want to just prove. Not, I don't need to prove it, but I want to share with you guys how much I have changed and how I have grown in this life of mine, Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh
Y'all
wow,
ready?
okay.
Are you ready for a story?
Oh Lord.
Story time.
Right.
All right, you know,
We need to come up with like a theme song
right.
for that. Because that true. The stories that come up on this goddamn podcast,
Story time.
priceless.
Story time.
All right. So, I don't know why. Now, I don't share a lot of shit on this podcast. I don't think I share a lot of
You
shit.
sure?
Okay, I do share a lot of shit.
Didn't we get yelled at a couple episodes ago about not that he shares too much and we don't share enough?
Okay, yeah, maybe that was the wrong thing to say. I don't. There's a certain aspect of my life I don't share. Okay,
Fair.
y'all might
Facts.
think I tell everything, but I don't.
Facts. Facts.
You think you know, but you have no idea.
Okay, come on, MTV Diaries. So your boy went and got a little nip and tuck. Okay.
Tuck and nip.
It was a tuck and nip. Yeah. It was more just a nip. I don't need to tuck anything.
I was gonna say it was more nip than tuck.
It was just a nip. It was
a nip.
Your boy is in the gym and body yaddy. All right. But
Not Badiati.
But I went and got I went and got
BBL.
No, girl. I was about to say something. I went and got a procedure done. It was a cosmetic procedure, but it was something, I had like something that I just didn't like. So it wasn't anything crazy. Nothing that you all would notice. But you all notice it now because you see my black eyes, child. Look like I got beat up. But anywho.
No, bitch, wait a second. Before we go there, bitch, because let's talk about the call that you fucking made, bitch, talking about you got into a fight and somebody jumped you.
Hold on, I'm going to tell all that. I'm going to tell all that.
Bitch.
So anyway, all right. So you guys know when you go under the knife or any type of procedure, that this procedure I had to go under anesthesia. So normally they usually don't let you drive and stuff like that. So I had a plan. A friend to the show, Hakeem, was supposed to pick me up, right? So I called him and I said, hey, this was 2 months in advance. Like I'm a planned bitch when it comes to shit like that, because I got to make sure my so-called village got me, because I don't trust people. Like Oh, it's funny how all this story is going to connect to previous episodes, child. Oh my God, I can't wait to drop it. All right. So, long story short, I planned this with Hakeem 2 months before time. He actually took off of work. It happened on a Monday. And we had the plan together. We were good. Day of my procedure comes. My surgery is at 6:30 in the morning. I text Hakeem all the details that Friday before, and then I also text him that Sunday, the night before, just to give him all the details again. We actually spoke on Friday to make sure everything was still set. He was good. He knew the plan. Cool. So I sent him a message on Sunday night, blah, blah, blah. Sent him another message on Monday, like, hey, this is the nurse's name, number, blah, blah, blah. He didn't respond. Thought nothing of it because it was 6:30 in the morning. Cool. Long story short, my procedure only took an hour and a half. But then this is the thing with anesthesia. I sleep too long. like it's hard to wake me up. So that scares me. Because I'm like, bitch, what if I never wake up? But but I woke up around like 12-ish. Yeah, it was like 12ish. So surgery was at 6:30, but of course they didn't put me to sleep right away. I had to fill out papers and all that other good stuff. So I think surgery started around like 7:30. So I woke up at 12. Um, and no, I woke up at 11 because I got home at 12. Woke up at 11. Um, and I woke up to the nurses saying, "Hey, your friend isn't answering the phone. What's your passcode to your cell phone?" Now y'all know, bitch, nobody ever get that. So y'all know I was drugged up. I'm like 9-7. So she's like, "What's his name?" And I'm like, Hakeem. She goes to my contacts, looks for his number, calls him several times from my phone, no answer. Calls him several times from her phone, multiple phones, does not answer. I drift off back to sleep. She wakes me up again. He's not answering. Do you have anyone else? They're getting annoyed with me, I believe. Um, do you have anyone else that can come pick you up? Instantly start crying. It was the drugs. But I instantly start crying. And because I felt this feeling
Anesthesia
of,
would definitely do that.
yeah, I felt this feeling of abandonment
Yeah.
and like not knowing what's going on because I don't have full control of the situation and just like, what am I gonna do? And then it was funny, I can laugh about it now. I'm like, are you guys gonna call the cops on me? Like, she's like, what? she's like, do you have anybody else that can come get you though? So I'm like, no. So I call his girlfriend through Facebook Messenger because I don't have her number. She doesn't respond. Then I call. Oh God, I'm about to spill tea. The person that they hooked me up on a blind date with,
Mm-hmm.
their friend, whose number I'm not supposed to have. Remember, I like the friend instead of the person that they're blind.
Oh, so not the friend of the person that they hooked you up with.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. Because I was like, wait, why would you put that? Got it. Okay. I'm with you.
Called him saying, "Hey, have you spoken to Hakeem?" He said, "No, why? What's wrong?" I was like, he was supposed to pick me up. I had a little procedure done. And he was like, I think he's like drunk at home. I'm like, what? And then he's like, where are you? And I told him, he's like, I'm gonna come pick you up.
Ooh, woo. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Okay. It was a 2-minute call. The nurse took the phone and gave him directions. He lives at least an hour away. He was there in 35 minutes.
Period. I don't see the motherfucking problem.
I'm like, okay.
So
I cheers the fuck to him.
but I was mad because I don't want people in my business. But anywho,
We're
but
past that.
we're way
You also
past
don't want to
that.
be. I was about to say you also don't want to be in a hospital, bitch. Pick
I
your
don't want to
poison.
be right. I don't want to be in jail, child. Dyfus come get me because I don't have a guardian or some type of
Right. It's giving
something.
kid left at school. It's giving
It
child
did.
left at school.
Yes. I just didn't know what those next steps would be. Like, like what the fuck? So
That you stay there until you can't go fucking leave.
they charge me by the hour. Like, what's going on? You're supposed to have this worked out.
I cannot.
So anyway, comes and gets me. They wheel me out in a wheelchair. I'm like, I don't need this fucking wheelchair, bitch. What's wrong with y'all? They start laughing and shit because I'm talking shit. Like, the fuck is this? So they're like, we have to. I'm like, all right, whatever. So anyway, he helps me get in his truck. I'm like, boy, I don't need no help talking shit to him. I'm calling him not his name. This whole time I thought his name was something different. I thought his name was Kevin. And I'm like,
Kevin.
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 And I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Kevin. And then we were talking. I was like, oh my God, Kevin. And he was like, why do you keep calling me Kevin? And I was like, oh, that's not your name? And then I was like, oh, no, it's, and I remembered it. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I feel like a piece of shit.
Blame it on the goddamn drugs,
Anesthesia.
bitch. Blame it on the drugs.
Anesthesia.
Blame it on anesthesia.
I don't even know how I found his number or even thought to call him, like, high and all. But anyway, Hakeem calls while I'm in the car.
Oh, bitch, let me pull up to this goddamn computer. Okay, what happened next? And next.
Hakeem calls and he's like, hey, I got Jay in the car or whatever. So Hakeem is like very apologetic. Oh my God. I'm silent. I'm mute. So I think, he felt a little awkward. So he's like, yo, bro, I'm gonna call you back after I drop him off and blah, blah, blah. So he's telling me, he's like, don't be mad at him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you can't tell me that because, we had this planned for 2 months. He knows I don't really have people out here. I don't trust people. Like, and it was like, it's just, even if you did get drunk and party and all that stuff, like, you have a responsibility that we agreed upon. There was a plan. So I was just really upset. And anyway, he dropped me off. He actually took me to go get my meds from the pharmacy, my painkillers. And then dropped me off and said, hey, do you want me to come upstairs with you? I'm like, no, I'm good. I should have told him come upstairs. And
clearly you should have said come upstairs.
And all, I should have gave him the best head of his life just for picking me up. But I'm not a bitch. But I don't suck dick for rides.
But would you for courtesy, bitch? Because he was real courteous to you.
He was very courteous to me. He was very. It was actually a turn on the way he took care of me, child. But okay. And I was like, damn, I should have had him come upstairs. But we've been texting or whatever. And I will say, I couldn't, because of the procedure, I couldn't like go outside or watch TV or anything like that for 3 days. Couldn't be exposed to any like bright lights or anything. So I just had these 4 walls in my room in the bed, right?
Right.
And I did a lot of self-reflecting, like the whole Hakeem situation really fucked with me. And I'm like, fuck, like, how do I address this? And on day 3, I'm like, he hasn't even reached out to me to see how I am. Even if you fucked up, you could have still reached out and said, do you need anything? I know I fucked, like, and I was like, let me take the meat out of it because I want him to respond a certain way. I don't know. So me and my feelings, I'm like, let me text him because so excuse me. I text him and said, for the last 3 days, I've been thinking about what I want to say to you. How to articulate myself without being too dramatic or disrespectful. You haven't even tried to reach out to me or even see if I was good. It could have been the drugs, but I literally was in the recovery room crying, feeling vulnerable as hell. Blah, 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 blah. Won't say all that. I said, leave that part out. But I said, I swear I don't want to be mad at you, but what the hell? How the hell am I supposed to feel? I felt abandoned and like I was a burden to you.
Bitch, come on, vulnerability.
All right, okay.
But what is it? Come on, vulnerability, bitch. That's
right?
all that matters.
Good, right? That was good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this was his response to me.
Oh, Lord. Am I ready?
You might be. You might be pleasantly surprised. Okay. So, hey, Jay, I'm glad that you are okay and that you are texting me. I was going to call you on my way home from work today. I called you Monday, but it went to voicemail, so I thought you blocked me because you were mad at me. which you have every right to be. I was just going to give you space for a couple of days and call you today. I promise. I've been thinking about it nonstop, really, because it makes me feel like I'm an unreliable friend, and I know it definitely hurt you and embarrassed you. And that's not what I want for our relationship. I'm sorry that I didn't come through on my part and not going to try to make any excuses. I really fucked up and I know it. You are one of my closest friends and I let you down, especially after we planned this for so long. I don't feel good about it, so I understand if you're mad at me. I deserve it. I'm thankful that his friend was there, even though he shouldn't had to be. I'm thankful that you are texting me now. I will do better and try not to let anything like this happen because I want to be a reliable friend to you.
Okay. Okay. Pause. I'm sorry, Jay
Uh-oh.
Ranger.
Shut up.
Oh, Lord.
Listeners, this is a fucking apology. This is an apology. If your apology that has been given unto you do not sound like this, send that bitch back and get you a Hakeem, okay? This is how you effectively take responsibility for
Yes.
your shit. You don't put it on the person expressing to you how they feel. You don't go and be like, oh, well, I was busy and, I know we agreed upon it, but something else came up. You don't go through that bullshit. You own it. You acknowledge it, and you move the fuck on. This is an apology. Not if I hurt your feelings, not if I didn't come through for you, not if. This is what you do when you are respectful of the person that you care about and you want to give a fucking apology for something that you could have done differently.
Amen.
Yes.
Why did I roll though?
Because these niggas don't be motherfucking getting it. That's why. Because I be so sick and tired of these niggas because they don't motherfucking get it. Okay? I'm sorry, Chef Von. I'm sorry. And I'm looking at the waves on my goddamn thing right now, and they are big as fuck. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize, but that is one of my pet peeves. It disturbs the fuck out of me when you know you wrong. You know you did some shit that you should not have done, and instead of owning it, you try to avoid it. You try to not hold, like, you make it about me. You make it about the you should have done this or you could have done this. Like, no.
Or you
Like,
don't
just
respond at all.
You don't respond at all.
You don't acknowledge it at all.
What I appreciate most about it was that he was very thoughtful and like, I know what he's going through currently, so let me give him his space. And also knowing you, bitch, because
right.
Also being clear about you. Sometimes you got to give your ass space to have a real conversation with your ass.
Don't give me space.
No, sometimes it's necessary in order to have real conversation with your ass, bitch, because otherwise it ain't going no goddamn way, nowhere. So I get and I understand and I respect his approach of saying, hey, I promise I wanted to give you space, but I was still thinking about it. And I said to myself that I was going to hit you up today because this has also been bothering me. And here's why it's been bothering me. And here's how I plan to be a better friend to you moving forward. That's a fucking apology.
Yep.
These niggas don't be getting it though. That's why I'm so impassioned right now, because these niggas don't be fucking getting it. Bitch, I'm back on Team Hakeem, goddamn.
Get you a Hakeem.
Get you one of those.
A fucking Hakeem, bitch.
So
with a white woman, but so maybe not.
That Torian has stopped going off. I could say, this when I read this, I said I anticipated bantering back and forth. I anticipated a verbal spar, exchange of words. That's what I was ready, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
How do you respond with fuck you? Fuck, like, how do you, because you know how I get. Like, I will tell you that is the first apology in my whole life that I instantly forgave the person and was like, fuck, like, because this person acknowledged how I felt
Mm-hmm.
as my friend, knowing me for as long as he's known me, even using the words, I know you felt embarrassed.
Right.
That means you know me, because you know I get embarrassed. I'm like, bitch, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit more put together than this, like, I got a plan,
Right.
like, and just like you said, it wasn't a if I did this, or hey, shit
But
happens,
right.
all I could do is apologize, or like, it was sincere, and I just didn't expect that from him. I really didn't. And I called him immediately. After reading that, I didn't even respond. I just called him and we spoke. And we went back to, like, I said, I'm still going to think about it, and I'm probably going to throw it in your face for the next few years.
You gonna
Okay,
throw it in his
bitch.
face.
Wait a second. Okay, bitch. Wait a second.
It's fine. Like, but I accept your apology and I wanted him to know, because he said this has kept him up at night, or this has been on his mind, constantly been on his mind. I wanted him to know it was okay. It wasn't okay, but it's okay. I'm
But
good.
it's okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh my God, Jesus.
I love the
You know,
accountability. Like that's what
right.
I'm talking about. Like accountability. Like it doesn't make the situation any better, but it makes you feel better about going forward with this friendship.
Yes.
Like it's like now I don't mind saying, okay, well, we friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like accountability. Get you a
That's
Hakeem.
it. That's literally it. And that also tells you that Hakeem has done and or is doing his work of, like, being able to put himself in a position to say, I know I fucked up.
Right. Being
Yeah.
self-aware.
There's no
Yeah.
excuses. Yeah, I could have been like, I was drunk as fuck, but maybe I shouldn't have gotten so drunk when I knew I needed to do something for you the next day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all of that processing, all of that
Mhm.
evaluation, all of that,
Yeah.
self-reflection for me is it. And it's so rare in our community to get that, right? That, like, that being that vulnerability, especially with Black men, right? Let's take it there. Like, being able to be I mean, we just had a bunch of hoopla and hoorah around Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, like, expressing affection for each other and, like, hugging and, like, that type of thing. And so we always get the hyper masculine, problematic, toxic side of exchanges with friends. We need to begin to, like, really deal with the true essence and vulnerability that's necessary between friendships, particularly among Black men, because it is necessary.
Mhm.
Like you said, you started off with, like, I'm gonna send this text message and I'm gonna prepare myself to deal with this shit because I know it's already gonna go sideways.
Yep.
And yet he diffused the whole situation. Like, he took every weapon possible from you.
Mhm.
Like, he couldn't. He disarmed you completely. Completely
Exactly.
disarmed you. Like, what you gonna say now? What? What's good? What's up? What's
Now
up?
I'm the asshole if I say fuck you, fuck everything
Right.
you do, fuck, like, and then his girlfriend sends me a message afterwards, like, "Hey, sorry I was at work, but I'm glad you were picked up." I was like, "Bitch," like, ugh. Yeah. But anyhow,
So, so my follow up question now that I got all of that out of my system, um, Has there been a follow up conversation about how you ended up with the gentleman's number that you ended up calling to get picked up from? Bye.
No, but I know it will be. I think the dust needs to settle.
Shit needs to
Why the fuck
register.
do you care? But I did say, I know the conversation is coming. I did say to him when we spoke on the phone, like, see, God placed people in people's lives for a reason, you know? Like, I put God in it. Like, you know.
You're always blaming my goddamn Jesus. Leave my God out of your fuckery.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah, you know, God, you know, he's like, mm-hmm. And I know he was like, because he was silent. Like, and that's another thing. Like, he's okay with hooking me up with someone he knows I'm not attracted to, but I'm attracted to the friend now. And I feel like, so here's the thing. This is how me and the friend winded up exchanging numbers. So a few weeks ago, it was Hakeem's birthday, and we all went out. And he happened to be there. We went out to dinner. And we all went back to Hakeem's house to play cards, drink, and they did drugs. You know, I don't do drugs. So
Bitch, so you want to clarify what drugs they were doing?
Oh, you know, weed and stuff.
Oh, okay, because the way you said that was very like.
You child. Thomas act like he can read with some damn lines.
So
Shit my fat ass up.
You're gonna have to cut that out.
Yo, what I set my fat ass up? Don't cut that out.
No, not that.
Anywho, so we all went back to his house, and his house is like where he lives at is equivalent to like North Newark, where there's like no parking on the street, like at all. You have to park blocks. And a nice gesture his friend did was we drove past a parking spot, and instead of taking it himself, he let me take. He pointed and said, "Park there. I'll find a parking spot." I parked, and it was a little ways away. He swung back around the corner and picked me up, and tried to drop me off at the front door. I said, "No, I'm riding with you. Wherever you park, we can walk together." He was like, "Okay." He parked so fucking far, bitch.
You regretted saying that shit.
Anywho, so anyway, we walk to in the house. Well, no, I'm sorry. We're looking for parking. Hakeem comes outside and says, Hakeem comes outside, opens the passenger door, and says, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" And I was like, I said, I parked over, and I'm acting like I'm in trouble. I'm like, I parked over there, and he picked me up so I wouldn't have to walk. And like, I was explaining myself.
Right.
He was like, "Oh," but he had this confused look on his face. Like, was y'all just fucking? Like, that's because it took us a long time to find parking. Like, it was, you should have saw his face when he saw me in that car, bitch. So anyway, long story short, he was like, "Just park right here." And he let him park, like blocking his driveway end or whatever. Anyway, I say all that to say, when I say all to say is that I stayed for like just an hour because it was late already, and Hakeem lives about an hour drive away from me, so it was like 1:00 in the morning already. So I was like, I got an hour drive, not me. So his friend walks me outside, and we exchange numbers. But
I don't see how you wasn't supposed to have that number. Then it sounded like to me you were supposed to have that number.
But here's the thing: we did not text or anything like that
until after the hospital.
until after the whole surgery thing. Now we've been texting. Yeah.
I still don't understand how you weren't supposed to have that number.
Uh,
Oh, okay. 'Cause-
Anyhow. Anyway.
Well,
Well, now.
That was my story. Any other thoughts?
Well, now. I mean, I just don't understand how people. Anyway, listeners, that's how you apologize. Okay.
And I was going to just say, like, it's leading to too many other questions that I'm sure you don't feel like addressing on this podcast.
Do. Go ahead. Come on, Oprah.
You sure?
He said, "Let's go." So go. Let's go.
All right. So, what's the tension? Because I sense a tension.
Tension between who?
Like, why can't you have the friend's number?
I don't. So
now you know the answer to that question, bitch.
Now here's the thing, though, right? I was on speakerphone one day with him and his girl, and we were talking about the blind date, and I was saying,
trash.
I like the friend of the other friend of y'all's.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gay? Like, and I was joking. I didn't think he would be gay. They was like, yeah, but
so wait, I got to catch up. So the person who came and picked you up from the from the hospital is the one that you was saying you wanted to talk to because you were attracted to them, and they were like, "Oh, he is gay.
He's gay."
Right.
Got it. Okay.
And they were like, "Yeah, he just, yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I said, "Well, tell him, give him my number and tell him to holler at me. Like, what's up? Say what's up." Hakeem says, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that."
Of course he's not going to do that.
And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Oh, he's a piece of shit, and I don't want nothing to happen."
And
he was like, "I don't want anything to happen between y'all, and then we get in the middle of it." I said, "I only want him to add on my roster."
So it is what I thought.
I can deal with a piece of shit because, and I wanted to say more, but I was on speakerphone. But I'm like,
because what had happened was
okay.
you're a piece of shit.
Okay. So just, and it was like, so Hakeem said, no, it was like, we tried to hook you up with old boy. And I think it's best if I give the other guy who I'm not attracted to your number and maybe you guys can talk. And I'm like, but I'm not attracted to him. So why would you give him my number? I was like, give the friend my number. And he was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I was like, all right, whatever. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna see him again at a cookout.
That was selfish.
Now I'm like, Hakeem ain't shit. See, Hakeem is changing.
No, Hakeem ain't shit. He just happened to have a little emotional intelligence about himself, but he still ain't shit.
Okay. All right. So that's what I thought it was. Okay. All right. No more questions.
Gonna tell somebody don't do that because let me shut my fat ass up. Shut up, Torian. Because you know why he didn't give you that goddamn number. We all know why he didn't give you that goddamn number.
He don't want us.
Yeah, because he wants you on us.
Mm-hmm.
He want Jay Ranger to his
motherfuckers. He want me to rearrange stuff. Let me get off this iPod, child.
On the iPod. Get up off the iPad.
Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed my story, child. Y'all see the adventures of Jay Ranger.
Kill me now. Put me in the ground right now.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Hey, yo.
Not Jay Ranger, bitch. Are you really... Is it about to be Jay Ranger really moving forward?
Hey, on this podcast. On this platform. Anyway,
on what other platform is Jay Ranger?
then he gonna say J Ranger.
Thanks for tuning in to Catch My Black and Gay podcast.
You better say your name too, bitch.
Call us 971-410-7111. Email us. Follow us on all social media platforms at Catch My Black and Gay. Y'all